According to EA, Halo Infinite may be to blame for Battlefield's failure. Let's discuss this. Hey everyone, welcome to Fun Speculation here on YouTube. My name is Mav. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're new here, hey, hope you like the content. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe to the channel if you do. And if you're a returning viewer, I always appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here, for subscribing to the channel and checking out Fun Speculation. Now, let's get into the topic at hand. Wow, this article started swirling around later yesterday, and it was about EA had said in one of their town hall meetings to discuss Battlefield and what's going on with it. Because as it's sitting right now, there's actually a petition going for refunds, people asking for EA to give a refund, demanding it. It's set at 207,000 signatures currently. So people are not very pleased with this game. EA has gone into some reasons why they think that is. This has prompted this town hall meeting and all these issues. They have acknowledged the lack of success of this game, pretty much considering it a failure at this point. Many could have seen this coming right after launch when they had all these bugs, and then, there was a lot of community outcry that the game wasn't going well. The game was not delivered as promised. There's a lot of bugs. So let's go into some of the things that they had said. Now, this is quoted from a Eurogamer.net article that I'm reading here. They said, following the game's launch and the rollout of the day one patch, the game was stable and the early critical reception was good. Yeah, so some of the early critical reception was kind of positive. The patch from day one compared to the beta that we had played previously was night and day, right? So being somebody that has played quite a bit of Battlefield 2042, I can say that it was in a state that was way better than the beta. However, there was still bugs, and there was hit detection issue that a lot of players had problems with. There's a lot of features missing that people have come to expect from Battlefield, as well as there was this loadout glitch that happens sometimes where you pretty much don't see your equipment and you get stuck not being able to use all your equipment in the match until you have to go reset your loadouts and everything. So that glitch for me still has been an issue. I don't know if it's been fixed since the last time I've played. However, most of the other issues have been resolved and they keep rolling out updates with Battlefield. But let's get into more of what they had to say. They said, however, Battlefield was then affected by the launch of Halo Infinite. They said, as unfavorable comparisons were made between the Xbox shooter and Battlefield 2042, with Halo perceived as a much more polished title. So this goes into two territories for me that I want to discuss, because as we all know, Halo Infinite is a very polished experience with gameplay, and that's what everybody was discussing at the time of the beta and when it went live, that wow, this feels amazing. This gameplay, they nailed it, all these things. And the word started to spread and Halo became pretty popular. Other aspect of this that I want to talk about is Halo Infinite is free to play. So is other games like Apex Legends, Fortnite. You have Warzone out there. There's a lot of great free to play shooters out there. And I personally feel like a lack of sales, if that's what their main problem here is, could also be the fact that they are asking $60 for last gen and $70 on next gen for a title that is only focused on multiplayer. Now, I have said in the past, I don't see an issue charging $60 or $70 for a multiplayer game if somebody else can charge $60 or $70 for a single player game. However, if you do look at it in hindsight, you are limiting the amount of players that may want to access that, especially if there's a lot of news out there in the community about bugs. It may prevent people from buying it when they have other stuff to play that is better for free. This is where I want to get into, because this is something I actually kind of agree with, but also it's still an issue, right? So they also acknowledge that the company historically has had bug issues with DICE games at launch. Just like everybody has criticized me personally, saying that I'm too forgivable with Battlefield about the bugs. I'm speaking, and I always have been, about experience. Every Battlefield game I've played at launch has had a lot of bugs. And in fact, a lot of the times the servers aren't even working. And you can't even get into a game at launch a lot of times on a Battlefield game. Now that's been a problem ever since I've played Battlefield way back since Battlefield 2, I believe was the first one I started with. So this has been an ongoing thing. There's always been one of those franchises that they also have supported the games after the fact, and it's always ends up being a way better experience. You can look at Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 3. Every single one of these had launched in a different state and gotten better over time, right? So that's kind of where I was coming from with a lot of my takes on, hey, this game isn't as buggy even as the last Battlefield game that I played at launch, right? However, there was a lot of things missing, a lot of features there was missing, and a lot of people wanted that campaign. But they did it again. They acknowledged the company historically had bug issues with DICE games at launch, but the bug count for Battlefield 2042 fell into the range EA expected when compared to other launches. So they knew it was buggy, but they're like, hey, every Battlefield game's buggy. We're just going to release it, you know? So that's also not okay. You can't have that mindset of just knowing you're releasing things with bugs and it'll be okay. The company therefore believed the issues would be manageable. However, they also said that they believe player expectations had changed with respect to live service games. I 100% agree with this. Like I said, that with all of the other games out there, Halo Infinite, Apex Legends, you got Fortnite, you got Warzone, all these games are free. They're also live service, right? They also have updated content regularly, and they always keep giving you a reason to come back and check them out. And to compete against a game for me that is 60-70 bucks, right? When you also have a lot of news out there about bugs, it's gonna get people that are content with their experience not really wanting to go pay that money. Yeah, they said that the expectations had changed with respect to live service games, and so the previous model of shipping it and patching it later no longer flies. Wow, they should have thought about this beforehand. I agree with this. Like, regardless of the past, right? Regardless of the past, this is the game that's stuck in between, okay, the new era and the old era. Like, this game was shipped in a format that's like old era of gaming. You're gonna spend 60-70 bucks or whatever you're gonna pay, and you're gonna get this experience, and that's what you're gonna play. It's gonna get updates and patched over time, and compared to all these other games that are out there that are free and doing the same thing. So in this aspect, it's like, okay, pay this money or don't pay this money. And I think that player expectations are even very harsh on these free games with bugs at launch. And you have one opportunity to really grab people these days because there's so much competition in the shooter space. Call of Duty, Battlefield, both have sold less this year than the previous. Now, I think Call of Duty next year is going to be fine because this is going to be the Infinity Ward game. They got a new engine. They got all this stuff going on. It's a sequel to the last Modern Warfare. But, Battlefield was already in kind of a shaky spot to begin with. And to launch this game that people had a lot of excitement. And again, one of my most popular videos was actually my reaction to the to the trailer reveal for Battlefield. There was a lot of hype and excitement for this game. And I feel honestly like EA let a lot of people down with this title, with their messaging, and also with their pricing model, and also removing the campaign upset a lot of people. Personally, me, it did not, because I believe that there's more multiplayer content in this Battlefield than has ever launched with any other Battlefield. If you include Portal, all the modes that they have, the maps, there's so much there. But there's also so many features missing. So if they had had another 6 months, let's say that they had delayed it another 6 months, let's say even a year, I believe that they could have launched this game in a much better state, and Battlefield could have been a huge deal again instead of this issue we're having now. Now, is there an opportunity to turn this around? Yes, I do believe there is. They can also turn this around. I don't know if they're going to go and give all those refunds. That's a possibility, but we'll see. I doubt that. I do think that they have an opportunity to reach out and change the model of the game potentially. There's already been rumblings about that. Or they can go ahead and put that game into Game Pass sooner than anticipated, because all EA games eventually go into Game Pass via EA Play, or Game Pass Ultimate at least. I think that would be smart of them. It's already February. The game came out into last year. Been a few months. Go ahead and drop that sucker into Game Pass. Go ahead and put it into EA Play. See if you can get that player count up, but do it with a big update. Coincide that with a large update that's going to have some new features added, some new modes, and also bring the player base in, get people to try it for free at that time. This is something Cyberpunk kind of did yesterday when they had a 5-hour trial at least of the game. Now, if you are a Game Pass subscriber or EA Play subscriber, I believe you do still have a 10-hour trial if you've never tried Battlefield 2042, so you could give that a go unless you already used that up. Now, I think that Game Pass would be the best option here because you got close to 30 million subscribers in Game Pass already. You put that in that service, it's a huge title. You're going to get a lot of people at least giving it a go. Battlefield 5 picked up a lot of steam last year, even after it got updated to 60 frames patch. And we had a lot of fun playing Battlefield 5 last year even. So I think Battlefield 2042 has a good chance of coming back, just like a lot of Battlefield games have. However, right now, it is a huge disappointment for EA. It's a huge disappointment for fans. I'm enjoying it, but it is what it is. I still haven't played it in a while because I've been playing other things, but I have enjoyed my experience with this game. So again, if you like this video, please everybody hit the like button, share, and subscribe. I want to know your thoughts on Battlefield 2042. What do you think about their comments about Halo Infinite potentially ruining their game? Or also the other takes that they had about bugs and day one anticipations and compared to the other Battlefield games and all this other stuff. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below, and have a good one. Take it easy.